Welcome to economics class. Dear cadets, seen in our previous class that the topic number 1, 2 and 3 we had seen. So now in this,
Good morning, sir.
very good morning. Please don't speak out in between now. We are
Sir,
going to
speak
see the
aloud.
upcoming point of this chapter. I request all the cadets have a notebook. Those who are having the textbook, please see in the textbook. Topic number 5. As we are in the flow of chapter number 2, sectors of Indian economy. Topic number 5, division of sectors as organized and unorganized. So I request all the cadets to please have attention towards this topic. This topic is very valuable because in examination every year we are having the question on differentiate between the organized and unorganized sector. So quickly we are going to see about what is the organized and unorganized sector. So as we are seeing in the sectors of Indian economy, we are going to see now organized as well as the unorganized sector. Next, Bhavna, are you here? Bhavna?
Yes, yes, sir.
Please unmute yourself and speak out.
Yes, sir.
Is Bhavna is there?
Yes,
Bhavna Heramat?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this slide is here. All the cadets please have attention first. Let us examine another way of classifying activity in the economy. Look at the way people are employed. What are the conditions of the work? Are there any rules and regulations that are followed as regard their employment? So you are observing the slide in that the story of Kanta and Kamal is here, right? After reading the story, we have to differentiate the condition of the work, place of Kanta and Kamal. So I request Bhavna to please read the part of Kanta. Bhavna, please read it. Bhavna, please read out.
Kanta works in an office. She attends her office from 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. She gets her salary regularly at the end of every month. In addition to the salary, she also gets provident fund as per the rules laid down by the government. She also gets medical and other allowances. Kanta does not go to office on Sundays. This is a paid holiday. When she
Okay.
joined work, she was given an appointment letter stating all the terms and conditions of work.
Okay, very impressive, very good. Now all the cadets please observe Kanta's works in office. She attend her office from 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. She is getting a regular salary every month, right? So in addition to the salary, she is having the other allowance also. And she also get the medical allowances. Kanta does not go to the office on Sunday. That means there is a paid holidays for her. And when she joined, she got an appointment letter, right? Stating all the terms and condition of the work. So dear cadet, this is the story of Kanta. I will not speak anything. After reading of Kamal, we are going to see this. Next, Amod is here. Is Amod is present? Is Amod is present? Okay. Next, Prashant Chauhan is present. Sankalp, are you able to hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Sankalp. You please read the part for Kamal.
Yes, sir. Kamal is Kanta's neighbor. He is a daily wage laborer in a nearby grocery shop. He goes to shop at 7:30 in the morning and works till 8 o'clock p.m. in the evening. He gets no other allowance apart from his wages. He is not paid for the days he does not work. He has therefore no leave or paid holidays. Nor, nor was he given any formal letter saying that he has been employed in the shop. He can be asked to leave anytime by his employer.
Okay, very good, Sankalp. Now, dear cadet, please observe that in this two cases, what the difference is there, right? We are going to quickly see the differences, right? Point number one, we had seen the part for the Kanta, okay? Then after we had seen the part of Kamal. This slide is representing the story of Kanta and Kamal. Do you see the difference in the condition of work between the Kanta and Kamal? So dear cadet, as the two cadet from our class has already read about the working condition of Kanta and Kamal, there is a lots of difference between the Kanta and Kamal. I will not reveal anything and I will not explain anything. I request Abhiram. Abhiram is there?
Words are not clear.
Abhiram is there?
Yes, sir.
Abhiram, please unmute yourself.
I am there, sir. I am unmuted, sir.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Abhiram, please tell me what's the difference you had noticed from the two working condition of Kanta and Kamal. Only two sentences from you. One for Kanta and one for Kamal.
Sir, in Kanta's case,
Speak
her
louder,
job
child,
is more
louder.
formal. In Kanta's case, her job is more formal. She gets her salary regularly and enjoys job security, sir. In Kamal's case, he is not that secure with the job, sir. He may be removed from the job anytime. His job is informal, sir.
Okay.
Unorganized sector.
Very impressive, very good. Keep it up. Next, I request Sangamesh of 10th C. What the difference you observed? Sangamesh, 10th C.
Hello, sir.
Yes. What do you see
In
the
in
difference?
Kanta's case, she is paid for holidays, sir.
Yeah.
But in Kamal's case, he is not fair for his holidays, sir.
Okay. Very good. Next, Sagar Tripathi. Sagar Tripathi, please unmute yourself. Now, Shrey Patil of 10th C.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Please continue. Right? Yes. Please read out.
Yes, sir. Kanta works in the organized sector. Organized sector covers those enterprises or places of work where the terms of employment are regular and therefore people have assured work. They are registered by the government and have to follow its rules and regulations, which are given in various laws such as the Factories Act, Minimum Wages Act, Payment of Gratuity Act, Shops and Establishment Act, etc. It is called organized because it has some formal processes and procedures. Some of these people may not be employed by anyone but may work on their own, but they too have to register themselves with the government and follow the rules and regulations.
Okay, very good. Now I request Tanmay to focus on the point of Kanta's working condition. Is Kanta is working in organized sector? Tanmay? Tanmay?
Yes,
If
sir.
Kanta is working in an organized sector?
Yes, sir.
Yes. How you can justify with one or 2 points?
Sir, organized sector means they are paid for they are having paid holiday and their job is secured.
Okay. Next. Hello. Next point, Kanta works in an organized sector. As you all are observing, and the points given here is about the Factory Act, Minimum Wages Act, Payment of the Gratuity Act, Shop and Establishment Act. There are
Hello.
rules and regulations.
Next point, Kanta Gratuity Act. There are rules and regulations.
So it is called as organized sector. First, the point related to organized sector, this slide is highlighting all the points for the organized sector. Next, Vikas Hugar, please read out. Vikas Hugar, please unmute yourself and read out.
Workers in the organized sector enjoy security of employment. They are expected to work only a fixed number of hours. If they work more, they have to be paid overtime by the employer. They also get several other benefits from the employers. What are these benefits? They get paid leave, payment during holidays, provident fund, gratuity, etc. They are supposed to get medical benefits, and under the laws, the factory manager has to ensure facilities like drinking water and a safe working environment. When they retire, these workers get pensions as well.
Okay, very good, Vikas. Next, this is the point in which we are talking about workers in organized sector enjoy the security of employment. They are expected to work only a few, that means a few or fixed number of hours. There will be a time duration. They work more, so they are going to have the extra amount. Then we are having the number of other facility in the government areas. So most of the people only prefer to work in the organized sector because they want to have a government job so they can enjoy the more facilities. Just we are having here the paid leave during the holidays, provident fund, gratuity and so on. They are supposed to get the medical leaves also and other medical benefits under the law. So dear cadet, please observe here there is a difference between the organized as well as the unorganized sector, right? So first we had seen about the organized sector. Next.
Sir, what is meaning of provident fund and gratuity?
Yes, these are the provident fund and gratuity. These, if your parents are working in an organized sector, so in a very simple word, your salaries few amount is going to be deducted by the organization and your amount and the double amount is going to be paid by the organization and it's going to be deposited in the provident fund. When you are going to retire, you are going to have this provident fund. It is also called as PF in a short language. If you want to have a loan or if you want to construct the house, you can withdraw the money or amount of money from it, right? In a very simple words, if you are employing any person, so your amount as well as the other person amount is going to be merged and placed in that particular account. Next, Sainath Kohli. I am having 126 cadets, so I request each and everyone to be attentive to read out, to speak the doubts and difficulty. Sainath Kohli, please read out. Is Sainath Kohli is there?
Yes.
Please read out. In contrast,
Yes,
Kamal
sir.
works in unorganized sector. Dear child, please quickly.
In construct, Kamal works in the unorganized sector. The unorganized sector is characterized by small and scattered units.
Okay, if you are facing any difficulty, I request another boy to read out for that. Sailesh Dange of 10th A, please continue.
In contrast,
Kamal works in the
Who is reading this?
Basavaraj.
Hello?
yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
Please continue.
In contrast, Kamal works in the unorganized sector. The unorganized sector is characterized by small and scattered units which are largely outside the control of the government. There are rules and regulations, but these are not followed. Jobs here are low paid and often not regular. There is no provision for overtime, paid leave, holidays, leave due to sickness, etc. Employment is not secure. People can be asked to leave without any reason. When there is less work, such as during some seasons, some people may be asked to leave. A lot also depends on the whims of the employer. This sector includes a large number of people who are employed on their own doing small jobs such as selling on street or doing repair work. Similarly, farmers work on their own and hire laborers as and when they require.
Okay, very good, Amod. Now, dear cadet, as we have seen about the Kanta's case, now we are on the Kamal. So, by seeing all the difference, it's clear to each and every one of you. So, Kanta, she is working in organized sector and Kamal is working in unorganized sector. After coming up in the upcoming points from this chapter, we are going to see about the public and private sector. The people are working in private area and peoples are working in public sector. So here we are talking about organized and unorganized one. So in organized one, what is the difference between organized and unorganized? Government and other sector. So they are unorganized in nature. In the following way, all it's going to be having the opposite. There we were having the paid leave. Here they are having no paid leave. No holidays due to the sickness and so. That means no provision of overtime, paid leave.
Sir, your audio is lagging.
Hello?
They are lagging, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
Please have
voice
attention.
is not clear, sir.
Employment is not secure. In this unorganized sector, the employment is not secure. It's clear? In organized sector, the job is secure. People can be asked to leave without any reason. So that's a point we are taking from unorganized sector. Parallelly, I am differentiating in your mind about the organized as well as the unorganized sector. Clear to you, everyone? I request all the cadets, those who are having the textbook, please in the textbook read the story of Kanta and Kamal. Just Bhavna has read about that and Sankalp has read for the Kamal. Gives the clear picture of working area. Dear cadet, all you have admitted here in the school only to get the good education, and after the good education everybody want to have the job in organized sector. Next, moving further to see the upcoming point. So, how to protect workers in the unorganized sector? As you have seen, number of the benefits are there in the organized sector. So what will happen to the unorganized sector? The people, those who are working in that. So how to protect the workers? The organized sector offers the job that are most sought after.
Lagging, sir.
Employment opportunity in the organized sector have been expanding very slowly.
Not anything, sir.
Yes? Dear cadets, if you are having any doubt and difficulty, please let me know. after
Video
this
is lagging.
Okay. So it is also common to find many organized sector enterprise in the unorganized sector. They adopt such strategy, right? That means they will act and follow all the norms and rules and regulation procedure as the organized sector
Sir,
in
your voice is not
unorganized
clear.
sector. As a result, a large number of workers are forced to enter in the unorganized sector.
Your voice is not clear.
Dear cadet, only one cadet at a time speak out because I am not able to hear your voice. What do you want to speak? Which pay a very low salary. They are often exploited and not paid a far. Their earnings are low and not regular. These jobs are not secure. So, hello everyone, is my voice is audible to you everyone? Hello? Anyone please respond? Soon we are going to have, it's a network connectivity problem. It's a network issue, please wait.
Hello, sir.
Hello, now my voice is audible to each and everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, very impressive. Please continue to our topic.
Sir, it
We are
is
on the
audible, sir.
We are on the topic to have the Kamal's work.
It's not
right?
audible, sir.
So Kamal's working condition, as we had seen, that's unorganized. And we are on the topic to speak about how to protect the workers, those who are working in unorganized sectors. Hello? Is Abhimanyu is there?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now you can tell to me what is the difference between organized and unorganized sector.
Sir, organized sector covers a permanent job,
Okay.
and it also provides uh, medicals and other allowances, and also provides paid holiday, whereas unorganized sector covers temporary works. It does not provide any type of extra allowances,
Yes.
and does not also not provide leave or paid holiday. So in simple word, we can say that organized sector is a permanent sector, which is provided by the government,
whereas unorganized sector is a temporary sector. It is this sector covers activities which is done by own or we normally goes to that shop and do work. This much means.
Okay, very good. Now, Aditya Hoshamani, as the technical issue soon is going to be resolved, Aditya Hoshamani, please speak out.
Yes, sir.
Yes, what you have understand from the today's topic, organized and unorganized sector.
Sir, I am not able to hear, sir.
What you have understood from this topic, please tell one or two sentence.
असं का करून ठेवलास नाही पैकी करून ठेवलास का तर
Okay, Jairam Mule, please unmute yourself.
मला माहित नाही ते का करून ठेवलास असलं
Jairam Mule, unmute yourself. Now Ajay from class 10th B. Ajay from class 10th B.
पाहिला
Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
काय करायचं रे ते
Hello.
Please continue. Start reading. Ajay.
Since the 1990s, it is also common to see a large number of workers losing their jobs in the organized sector. These workers are forced to take up jobs in the unorganized sector, which with low earning. Hence, besides the need for more work, there is also need of protection and support of the workers in the unorganized sector.
Okay, very good. So since we are seeing from 90s, it is a common to see a large number of the workers losing their jobs in the organized sector. These workers are forced to take up the jobs in our organized sector with the low earning. Hence, beside this, we need to do something for them. So what is there? Let's check out. Next, Abhiram, please continue. Is Abhiram is there? Please continue, Abhiram.
Yes, sir. Who are these vulnerable people who need protection? In the rural areas, the unorganized sector mostly comprises of landless agricultural laborers, small and marginal farmers, sharecroppers and artisans.
Going to see about the point, the people, those who are working in unorganized sector. So this slide is representing that. So dear cadet, as we were seeing or observing the network connectivity or network issue, the following points as most of the cadet out of 126, I will share you in next class my WhatsApp chat. Most of the cadets, they have sent their homework. So I am very grateful to you all. You all peoples are working sincerely for your welfare of the education. So dear cadet, not to forget to about that, all the points which you are not understanding, the cadets are marking the book page and texting me, okay, sir, please cover this point also, I am not understanding. So please, all your doubts and difficulties are welcome here. So in the meeting, no need to present anything. Your doubts and difficulty, just text me and I will carry every Saturday. Okay? Next, Shanta Kumar, please continue. Shanta Kumar, please continue. In urban areas, unorganized sector. Next, Prashant CG. Prashant CG, please continue. Shanta Kumar,
Sir,
do you wish to read? Please read.
Sir, your voice starts
In
lagging.
the urban area.
Sir, you are not audible.
But you can be audible. Please try to
Sir,
speak
voice
out.
is lagging, sir.
Shanta Kumar, please read out.
Sir. Yes, sir.
voice is
Can't hear, sir.
In the
Sir, we
urban
can't hear
area,
you.
Now you,
in the urban,
We can't hear Santa Kumar.
voice is lagging, sir.
okay, I will read it for you. So in this particular slide, if it is going to be a audible or auditing issue, just I will explain the slide quickly
Now it's
for
okay,
you.
sir.
Point number 1, as we had seen about the organized and unorganized sectors, the 2 points are here. We had seen the benefits, the different concept. Now we are on the topic to see about the urban area in which the unorganized sector, in that the people are working in a small scale industry as a casual worker in the construction areas, trade and transportation areas or so on. If we are going to talk about the street vendors, head loader workers, garment markers and the rack pickers, all small scale industry also needs government support for procuring raw material, marketing of output. The casual worker in the both rural as well as the urban area need to be protected. So let's see how we can protect to them. We also find that the majority of the workers are from the SCs, STs and the backward communities, find themselves in unorganized sectors. Beside getting the regular and the low paid work, these workers also face social discrimination. Protection and support to the unorganized sector workers thus necessary for the economic and the social development. I will not speak much on this topic. If I am going to speak such thing, I am prejudicing or I am doing the casteism for this. So it's just we are talking about the disadvantaged peoples, just like the SCs, STs, backward communities and so on. Next, sectors in terms of ownership, public as well as private. Another way of classifying economic activities into the sector could be the basis of who owns asset is responsible for the delivery of the service. In the public sector, the government owns most of the asset and provides all the service. In private sector, ownership as asset and deliver of the service in the hand of the private, or we can speak about the individual or company. Just we are having the example of it as you are studying in 8th standard in geography about in the industry chapter. All this, the public industries and private industries. So here we are having the example of Tisco and the Reliance Industries. They are privately owned. Next, activities in the private sectors are guided by the motive to earn profit. Just the two industry is mentioned here. To get such service, we have to pay money to these individual and companies. The purpose of the public sector is not just to earn profit. Government raise money through the taxes and other ways to meet the expenses on the service rendered by it. Modern day government spend on a whole range of activity. What are these activities? Why do government spend on such activities? Let's find out. There are several things needed by the society as a whole, but the private sector which will provide at the reasonable cost. Why? Some of these needed spending large sum of the money, which is beyond the capacity. Let's see. Of private sector, also collecting money from the thousands of people who use these facilities is not easy. Even if they do provide these things, they must charge a high rate of their use. Example on construction of road, bridges, railways, harbors, generating electricity, providing irrigation through the dams, etc., etc. Thus, the government have to undertake such heavy spending and ensure that the facilities are available for each and every one. Next, there are some activities which the government has to support. So what are they? The private sector may not continue their production or the business unless the government is going to encourage it. For example, selling electricity at the cost of generation may push up the cost of production of goods in many industries. Many units, especially small scale unit, might have to shut down. Government here steps in by producing and supplying electricity at the rate which the industry can afford. Government has to bear a part of the cost. So you can see here the role of government, how they are protecting the people, those who are working in unorganized sectors. Next, similarly, this slide is also talking about the government act in the area of food security, as we can speak about the fair price and so on. So dear cadet, the food security part is already deleted from the agriculture chapter also, and previous year the chapter was not part of our syllabus. So not to moving further in this topic, I quickly summarize our today's topic of discussion in relation of organized as well as unorganized sectors. You have to read out this point. Whatever the doubt and difficulty still you are facing, please let me know. Lastly, all the people, cadets, have attention here. Anyone please speak out. Hello?
Hello? Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Satvik, please differentiate between organized and unorganized sector.
Sir, organized sector has an secured work and it is gives on a regular salary for employment, and in secular
Okay, good. Next, Amar Sank. Amar Sank is present there. Amar Sank, please unmute yourself.
Sir, I am not hearing.
Unmute yourself.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Peter, please speak out.
Hello.
Please speak out what you understand from this presentation.
Sir, there are two characters of Kanta and Kamal, sir.
Okay.
Kanta works in office, sir. She gets the Sunday holiday payment, sir.
Okay.
And she gets the pension of in every month, sir.
Okay. Please
And in Kamal's case,
please have a pause here, Amar. Dear cadet,
yes,
let me clear you once again. Today we had a discussion on organized and unorganized sectors. In that we had seen the two cases. First one of the Kanta and second one of the Kamal. In that I allow the two cadets to read out the part by which you can understand the benefits, the procedure, the rules and regulation in the two sectors. After that we had seen how we can protect the people, those who are working in unorganized sector. And the reason why we want to protect them, because a large number of the people are working in unorganized sector. As well as there are number of the loopholes in these, so we want to protect them. How we can? We were having the examples of industry, we were having the examples of agriculture. So I request each and every cadet to please download the ebook if you don't have. If you are having the hard copy of the book, please go through all the points. Tomorrow we are going to summarize this chapter and I am going to give you the gifted note form. So be present with the notebook to copy down the important point as well as for the discussion of the question and answer of this chapter. Lastly, I want to thank to each and everyone. Please be attentive like this only in my each and every class. Thanking to each and everyone. Jai Hind to one and all.
Thank you, sir.
thank you, sir.
Sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.